Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another pointless Cities Skyline experimental video where today I asked the question, how easy is it to make profit of public transport? Now what I want to particularly take a look at today is buses, because buses is one of the first public transports we pretty much use when we build our cities before we eventually go on to build train lines, metro lines, monorails and all that jazz. They're normally the first thing that we kind of grab. Now, when it comes to myself building cities, I never really pay attention to how much public transport's costing me. And I never really pay attention to whether I'm turning a profit or whether I'm losing money or how much money I'm kind of technically losing. So today I want to build a small little city. Just something really simple, really basic that's going to kind of, simulate what we would build in the real world. And I want to see if I build a typical bus route, what have I got to do to then make it profit? Now, guys, if you're enjoying this and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. Now, there's a lot of things that we've kind of got to do, really. We have to kind of build a beautiful little city, but we also have to kind of, when we build a little bus route, really think about where the stops are, the distance between the stops, and where they're pretty much all going to be heading. So if I just put it into normal play mode right now, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use, is it the medium roads? Which ones contain the bus roads? There we go. We'll use the bus lanes right now. We'll kind of utilize this because I never really kind of pay attention to all this. So if I just kind of bring this down so far, I don't know really how far to kind of take it. Let's kind of go by, let's go by an 80. So we'll go by an 80 and I'll do another 80. We'll do another 80. And then straight down, and let's do another 80. And then another 80. There we go. So we have this nice little ring road going around. Now, the idea is we're going to put within this vicinity and around it all residential. Now, the reason I want to do that is because we're going to have a road going down here, which will have a nice little section down here for commercial. A road going this way. We'll have industrial on this side. And that means we have a bus route going back and forth. If you want to go to over here, over there, you got to get on the bus. Or they'll probably walk or, use vehicles and all that kind of jazz. But I'm trying to make them move. Make it a little bit further. Entice them to use the buses is probably the correct term I'm going for right now. So it doesn't really matter what kind of road network I'm going for right now. I just need to make it as accessible as we potentially can. So if I just run through this real quick with a couple of roads, and I'll do another set. Ooh, that's a little bit close, isn't it? All right, we'll go to about here. Actually, no, we'll go down this way. Bam, there. Straight up. We'll kick it across right now. There we go. And that'll be about here, right? No, about here. Bam. There we go. There we go. And this should technically not connect just right, but it's enough to kind of do this. So, it gives us now the ability to connect to the outer ring road. I do need a few more connections, so I'm thinking, where is the middle point to this? So it is 80 across. And would 40 be there? Yes, 40 is directly there. So I'll tear this down the middle. Now, no matter where you're pretty much trying to head or where you're trying to get to, there is a connection for you. So I'm trying to make them walk all the way to where the bus lines are going to be, because they will walk. I know when we did that experiment on how far, citizens are willing to walk, they're willing to walk a distance. So we've got no issues with that right now. So bam, straight to there. And is that perfect? Yeah. So run all the generic stuff down first, just to kind of get us all up and running. There we go, there we go, there we go. Straight across. Ooh, where does that one go? It's there. Haha, we got it. So that, oh no, my first mistake of the day. My first mistake of the day, boys. So I've actually got to get that one over by 1. And then that one's normal. And then, voila! We have our center section. Now, there's going to be a lot thrown into this, and a lot we're going to have to kind of get done. So, we've got this all up and running, and then what we'll do is I'll try and eliminate the ability for them to walk to these new areas. So with that ability, I'm going to place down these 4-lane highways. I'm going to do it by 100 that side, and then we'll do 100 this side here. And then we'll create our commercial and our industrial areas on the other side. So I won't go too over the top with these right now. I'll do a 30 by a 40. So that will be by a 60, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then by a 40. And then by a 30. So this is where we'll have our beautiful little commercial area to begin with. So, bam. Wabam. Bam. Wabam. Wabam. So all the commercial is going to be thrown in there. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on this side, and then the zoning can begin, boys. Then the zoning can begin. So this is not only going to test us to all kinds of limits, but, you know, it's going to test us to all kinds of limits. This could actually not work. So it's going to be a very interesting experiment, to say the least. I really want to know. I really want to know. But I don't know what I would do with this information, because am I really going to utilize? Am I really going to make profit on public transport in future cities? Probably not. Probably not. But we're up and running anyway. We are up and running. So let's kind of just get the basics out the way. I'm very loosely right now going to build the water grid network. Bam. Bring this down to here. Just go around the Recon. It doesn't really matter. It's only water, but everyone's got a drink. There we go. Bam, bam. Wha-bam. Wha-bam. And there we go. Sweet, mate. Sweet. So, let's get the utilities and all that kind of jazz set up. So, big boy water towers, you drop a couple just over here, because you never know what kind of needs we're going to have. We get the little basin set up right now, so I'll drop one in just there. Again, get you hooked up. Bam. We need power. I'm going to use the Tesla Gigafactory just because, you know, I got unlimited money right now. But it doesn't mean that we can't see how we're going to be making money, because we can go into here and we can kind of see the income coming from the, you can see the profit margins there. So I got unlimited money mod on anyway, just in case this experiment goes down the pan real quick. So, power grids. Power lines, should I say. Bring that over to here, down to here. So the water's got power. The sewage will have power momentarily. But let me just get a couple of advanced recycling centers quickly set up. So I do want, as far as I can, connect it to there. And another one just there for the garbage needs. We'll probably need more of that in the long run. But we will see, boys. We will see. So first things first, then we're going to go completely high density residential throughout the whole of this. We'll do, for now, low density commercial until they're all educated enough. And then here we will do complete and utter dirty industry. So there's a lot thrown in there. There's still a lot of kind of stuff we got to get up and running for it to kind of work. But we'll let it build. We'll let stuff happen. We've got to bring the power over, so I'll slowly let them kind of extend and expand themselves. But if I bring this up to here, run it all the way across, the power is nearby. Bring that across just there, all the way down to here. The power is nearby for these folios. So now we just bide our time. Now some beautiful time has passed by, and we've now built our population up to 10,000. Commercial's all pretty much filled out. Industrial is literally all filled out. But we're now ready to the point where we are thinking about public transport at this point. Now, an easiest thing to do would be like a metro line, but this is all about the buses, boys. It's all about the buses right now. So how it's going to work is we're going to have, you know, a couple of bus stops that collect everybody around here. and then take them down to the commercial area, bring them back up to the industrial area and bring it back. Now, what I'll do first is I'll utilize it and kind of build it all on one route. It might not be the best option, but we shall see. We'll try a few alternatives. Now, first things first, and we're going to be needing a bus depot. So if I just kind of throw this up here, that should see us all through. And then we're going to create a bus line. So if I start in the commercial area here, and let's say I had a bus stop there, and bring it in, and our first stop could be, for example, here. Stop just there. We'll then bring them to a stop just here. So I'm thinking about the vicinity. I know they can walk, I get that, but I just want to kind of, bring them to the vicinity. Bring it into the center, to here, to there before we exit and leave. Now come down here, where we'll add a stop in just there. We'll do one on this side, which I really want them to kind of go around the edge. Hold on, let me get rid of that. If I did one here, did one there, and then if I brought them straight back out, it's up to them where they then go. But if I then had a stop here, had a stop... This is not going to crisscross the way I wanted it to crisscross. So, how about I... Right, let me scrap this idea. Let me try a different approach. So I'll do a few variations of this. Let's see what we can kind of literally come up with. So if I had it stop there and then bring it down to here, stop there, and then it's a tough one, isn't it? It is a little bit of a tough one. I don't know whether to kind of... Do you know what? No, let's just scrap this idea. Because I'm overcomplicating it too much. And I don't need to. Where's the bus route? There we go. So if I bring it down to there, there, to there, and then to here. So we'll make it go around first. To there. And then we're going to stop up there. So if I put this one there and complete the line like that. So we've got a simple loop. It goes around and around. Standard. Standard, mate. Now, obviously, these guys in the middle, they will walk. It is within walking distance, so I don't think I need to worry about it. But I think the thing is, I've got that middle road there to kind of test out, is it one bus route I need or is it two loops? One route means it is longer, meaning they have to wait longer for a bus to arrive, but we'll see. Right, where's the bus route here? Where's the bus stop? Just there, and there's already a bunch of people waiting right now. So you got to give it time for them to pick people up. You got to give it time, and as the city keeps growing, more and more people will be waiting at bus stops in general. So just give it time. We'll see where we're at. And then we'll see if we need to add more buses. And I'm hoping the stops are short enough and within reasonable distance enough that it's going to work. I might also have to put a bus route. So let's just say that one's anti-clockwise and I need to do a clockwise route as well. But we shall see. So in terms of the money then, I know we haven't given it hasn't been enough time just yet to kind of see what's happening, but income is slowly starting to come in anyway. Expenses are pretty much fixed. They're not really going to change unless we add more buses to the route. It's all about the income right now. Now, as it stands, it isn't really increasing all that much, as opposed to the amount of buses on the route. But again, is that down to the fact that they're not spread out enough just yet? So before that one goes, it's already filled up, that bus. So it's like, what's the point of it stopping there? It's already filled up. And that's where my thought process is, like, is one route too long? Because, say, it could fill up everybody from here,
and then not unload everybody until they get over here, meaning that to go for all these other stops. That's the only downside to it, though, isn't it? That's the only downside to this, and we're making, like, you know, flying around 200. I haven't really gone up to 250 or 300. So that way, that bus route might be a little bit too long. Yeah. So we're going to scrap that bus route idea right now. So get rid of you. And we're going to do a new one. So if I start here then, and we'll do a new line there, which will then come up to, which side of the road are we on? We're on this side of the road, aren't we? Which will then stop, let's say just, so we'll have a stop just there. We'll have a stop here. So collect everybody within this vicinity in the center, everybody just on the edge. Bring them down to this side. And then maybe click anybody on this side if they're on that area. Bring them down into here. We have a stop just there. Actually, no, not a stop just there. We'll have a stop just up here. And then complete that line. Do the same on this side. So we'll have a stop just there. No, actually, no. We'll have a stop here. So we'll try and mimic it the opposite way round. So here. Then we'll have a stop there. A stop here. Into there. I'll do it there instead. There. So they will walk the distance to transfer between the two lines. I know it's not a direct kind of connection on that, but they will walk. That is not a problem. That is not a problem. So we'll see what happens now and what they get up to with now 2 bus routes. It does mean someone going from the industrial area to the commercial area technically has to take 2 buses, which does mean 2 fares being paid, but it also does mean double expenses when it comes to the buses. So is there traffic lights here? I'm trying to ease the traffic a little bit right now. Get it a moving, a rocking and a rolling and a shaking. There we go. And I wonder if the additional buses now coming in is going to ease the traffic in any way, shape or form. Probably, probably not. Who knows? Who knows? So double buses then means that my expenses... Oh, do you know what? My expenses stay the same. And that's probably down to the fact that it's the same amount of buses just divided into the 2 lines, because technically it is now half the line. And for the first time, we're now seeing numbers of income slightly approaching over the 250 mark. So straight away, without even doing anything, having 2 bus lines has generated us a little bit more income. But this is where you then have to slowly start fine-tuning everything. Might need a couple extra buses here, there, and everywhere. Take some buses away from some of the lines. You can see the amount of peeps on this right now. So we got to think of ways in which we can do this. We really do. So, how can we slightly improve this? I mean, the method we got right now is not the greatest. But we've got to think of ways. So let's check out these little routes anyway. So if we go to, they've both got 10 vehicles on, sorry. And we look at it right now. So this one's got like 700, 800. Once they fill up with people, where is that one? It's here. And this next one over here, nothing's really going to be happening, is it? So is that a case of where we have to then start thinking about how we divide the lines? Or is it a case of you just need so many freaking vehicles on this? Or have I got too many people that's going to overload with what's going on? So if I double this to 20 vehicles, now granted it is going to up the expenses, but okay, we're into 300, pushing 400 on the income. That could be the way to go forward, just to kind of get more capacity out there. So back to this then, we got 20 vehicles on that one. Is this one feeling the same? This one's actually technically not feeling the same kind of vibes. You've got a couple of empty buses. So I don't think I'm stressing too much on this one. It's saving 59% of car trips. So maybe I up it to get extra 3 buses on that. Just to kind of slightly dig into the the heels of these 2 stops just there. But it's that commercial one that's taking the biscuit right now, isn't it? Now, we have done our best to dig into it, but again, we just need so many more vehicles. Once they get to the commercial area over here, then you are slowly starting to lose the amount of people waiting at the bus stops. But is that down to the fact that there's not that many people there? Because you got to think, we got the bulkhead of people over here. For these bus stops over here to have more people on, they need first the people over here to be able to then get the bus back. Now, just watching these numbers, the first two right now, they are, would you say they're slowly reducing? Because if they are slowly reducing, then I don't need to add any more buses on, because there's going to come to a point where I've transported everybody. Because once that number reaches 0, then we can start taking more people off this one. And I say it's pushing back up to 400, isn't it? Yeah. So if I add this then to an extra 5 buses, 25 right there. We'll see what we can do on that side of it. In terms of the money, we are okay. So the income's now to 500, but the expenses is still really, really high. Problem is, right? This is the problem. We are. If I go back to this route, that commercial route, it's bringing all the people over, but it's not really taking anybody back because there's literally like next to nobody waiting at these stops. So over here, we need to do something that's going to bring people in. So because this is the commercial area, what we could actually do is I could place in the passenger train line. So if I kind of, yeah, let's build a road extension coming off. So you got to think of ways in which you can add value or more kind of stuff to certain areas. So we know we're not bringing as many people back this way. So if I added in this passenger line here, which is going to bring in tourists and just people out from outside the region, it's going to allow us to, hang on, where's that going to snap? Is that going to snap? So when people are coming in, because they want to get to the residential area, they're going to have to take a bus, right? They're going to have to take a bus, which is hopefully going to then start bringing people back. Or, you know, or at least kind of help us out. Now, this side, I have a better option for this. Now, this, I assume the bus route coming back from the industrial area is the same. It's bringing the bulk of people there, not really taking the bulk of people back home. Which, yeah, you can kind of see it in a shorter distance. So what I could do on this side then, because we already have the commercial on that side, is to place in here the space elevator. Because obviously this is then going to allow us to bring tourists in, but tourists want to go to the commercial area. So they'll hop on the 2 bus lanes or bus loops to get to that side. So it's all about trying to create that demand and figure it out. You're trying to push people in a direction. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Okay. Okay. So we'll give us a little bit of time. So anybody used this yet? I don't believe they have. Is anybody coming over here waiting right now? There's a couple of people waiting already, so you can kind of start to see that some movement is going to be happening. But we need more people coming in. So like that bus drives away, has 18 on board. That's where, like, you know, we can make some more money if there's more people involved and on it. It's a shame you can't change the prices of the bus, like how much you charge for a ticket. Because I feel like we would need something like that. So we've got the people coming out of the space elevator right now. Where is their go-to? Are they choosing... where actually, do you know what? I forgot where our 2 stops are. So we've got a stop over here, and then we also have a stop over here as well. So it's not pumping out a load of people because obviously it is kind of like a smallish area. But every additional person on that is going to help us out. Yeah. So, what damage has it done for us then? So, high 5s, 6s. We're reaching some of the 6s right now, which is interesting, which is still only half the money. But again, it all comes down to how many people you're moving. So, more buses. You could argue to start getting all these people moved about, or am I adding in additional routes? So, let's like drag a stop over here. So I'm now spreading out Cancel that. I'm spreading out now how uneven or the movement of those people. It didn't really make sense when I said it in my head either. Right, drop you there. And that should be fine. So additional couple of bus stops right now, which really does spread people out. So hopefully some of the bus loops are moving. And I don't think adding an extra bus stop really is going to increase the expenses. I don't know. Did it? Oh, look at that. 680? 700s? Now, is that because we're bringing more people back? Could you argue that? I don't know. Lots of people being dispersed, which is really good. Really, really good. Now, the next thing you could argue is, what if I did it... I got rid of them 2 loops, and we did like 4 loops. So this side went to here. This side went to here. And vice versa. That would be my next bet. So we're now going to go back to it, and we're going to delete these 2 routes. So we seem to made literally over half the money in that previous one. This one's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to have them come in and stop there. Go up, down. We'll have a stop here. I'll have a stop here. I'll have a stop there. And then I'm going to go all the way back down to here. So you can see how that loop does that. I then do the same on this side. So the bus is going to come in. Stop there. It's then going to go and stop here. Do a stop there. Do a stop there. And off it skedaddles again. So I'm like using that top left square for this side here. You see how this is now going to work? If this works out well, then this could be the one for us. So if I do a stop there, bam, bam. Oh, hang on, do it over here, sorry, bam. So we're using that road in the middle right now for them to be the little crossover. So then we go here, straight down, stop there. So as it comes back up, bam, what bam. And it's a bit tight, but we'll roll with it. Guys, we'll kind of roll with it. There we go. So, not perfect, but I'm basically dividing those squares into the 2 halves on this side. So, that's now going to pump out a load more buses, and we're pretty much at square one again. So, we've tried 1 loop. Didn't really work out. Didn't make that much money. We tried 2 loops. We doubled our money pretty much instantly. Now we're trying 4 loops. And I'm hoping this, because of the directions that they go in, and now we have additional loops, it's able to simply kind of, you know, handle the capacity of people moving. So I've got to give it a little bit of a time to spin along and do what it's got to do, because everyone's got to walk to the bus stops. The buses have got to be even on their loops. Traffic's got to die down a bit because we now got bus routes on it. But in terms of money-wise, it's actually cheaper than what we previously had. And we're earning borderline the same amount of money straight away. Now, that's because I haven't added any additional buses on just yet. So that's when we then go on to fine-tune it ourselves. So, bus lines. Bus line 1, how are we looking? So in the middle over here, obviously we're going to have a lot there right now. So we've got 8 vehicles on. So why can't I move this? Is it because we're like fixed over here for some reason? So with how it's looking, I'm going to up this to 15 buses. Bus line 2. With how that's looking, 15 buses as well. Now back to the line update. So bus line 3, which is the first one that goes to our industrial area. I think it's okay with the 9 bus. I'm actually, you know what? No, we'll give it 1 additional bus, up it to 10. And then bus line 4. I'll give that 10 anyway. You just never know what demand it's going to increase by. But now we've got those on, so how much money? Much more money is that? It's okay. It's not much more, but for the first time, we're now pushing 700 big ones. Wow, wowzers! Potentially pushing up to 8 big ones. Okay. Okay. So, is there any policies that I can implement that would give them the oomph to use buses more? Now, high ticket prices, raise public transport ticket prices to get more profit. It may result in less passengers, but I've kind of designed this to not, to deterrent them from walking to the commercial area, so they've got no choice but to do it. So by doing that, 800, 900. Are we going to push 1,000? Or 1,000, boys! Can we push 1,100? Can we go even higher? We're borderline about to break even. We're on the cusp of breaking even. So this is where I now do need to fine-tune my buses to kind of reduce the amount of money I'm spending. So that bus route 4, where we had the least amount of people on it. Oops, I've got rid of it. Bus route 4. Does it need the 10 buses? No. I'm going to bring it down to only 6 buses. So only 6 buses, and even that might be a little bit too much. I think even 6 is a bit too much. 4 buses. 4 buses for now. Line 3. Line 3. Is 10 buses on this enough? I'm going to reduce this to 8 buses. Line 2. The amount of people waiting does not need 15 anymore. So while we're reducing the amount of buses now needed because not many people want to use buses, we've still got the high ticket prices. So I'm reducing my expenses. Again, do I need 15? I'm going to reduce it to 10. So it's all about trying to fine tune everything right now. So we would have reduced our expenses, but the income not so much. So you got to remember also it's going to take a knock-on effect on the income because you are reducing the amount of buses that can transport people, but you should feel like it should balance out at some point. So there might be moments where we do push over 1,000, and there'll be moments where we don't push over 1,000. So it's kind of a bit of a tough one, isn't it? I think we need more death care, by the way, guys. There we go. And why don't we try and grow a little bit more residential? So we need a little bit more industry. So I'll do it up here. So go up and across and down. Up and across and down. There we go. And then fill in industrial, industrial. There we go. So more jobs available, which will mean bringing more people over, hopefully. Which then brings more people to the city, which then brings more people using the public transport. It's a beautiful sight. It's the cycle of life. It is the cycle of life, guys. So, while that reduces, population might be increasing. And where does that then leave us? We're just on the cusp. Guys, just on the cusp right now of getting it to work. We're so close. So close. So, is it going to now slowly start to grow a population? Probably not. But let's try and do some of the other standard stuff as well. Let's add in a cargo line. So I'm now doing some of the other generic stuff that you would do when building a city to kind of make your city functional. And then just run this cargo line all the way out. There we go. So cargo coming in means it will free the roads up for the buses to move a little bit quicker, because then they're not going out of the region, they're coming into here. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be interesting. So I'll give it a little bit more time to then simulate. And then another idea that I could go for is we now pass over the 900 mark again. We're floating there. It's actually working right now. Is changing the budget slightly. Now if I reduce this, I'm doing the nighttime one. If I reduce it to 80%, right now, which brings us the budget slightly down. As you can now see, it's slowly starting to decrease. How much does it drop our income? Because that is reducing. Could that help us turn a profit slightly, you reckon? 888 it's now at. 888. So, oh, we're getting close. It got close for a second there, but it has all dramatically reduced. So we got 8s and stuff like that. So if I go bus line 1 for now. So let's get rid of this. Right, let's try again. So bus line 1. See the amount of people now waiting. So maybe then up this to then 10 buses. Bus line 2. Yep, 10 buses. Bus line 3. Oh, could do with then 8 buses. So now we're kind of going back down the route of increasing the amount of buses on the lines with the amount of people waiting, and then bring this up to 6. So that would increase how much now I'm spending, but it also should increase the amount of money I've got coming in. Oh, 77, minus 77 profit we're making them. Come on, boys, you got this. You can make me some sweet cash money moolah right now. But you see what we got to do to kind of just fine-tune it? It is ridiculous, isn't it? It is so freaking ridiculous. Minus 200 profit. So what if I reduced it down to the full 50%? I just want to see what happens. The full 50% reduction right now, which I know the income would go down, but how is the profit? Because who's to say you need a 100% budget to begin with? Who's to say all this stuff? Nobody. Minus 80, minus 70, minus 100, minus 20, minus 18, minus 15. 50. We made a 50-cent profit, guys. Did you see it for a second there? We made 50 cents. $24 profit. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. It is ridiculous, isn't it? It is low-key ridiculous. So is it possible to make a profit in the bus line? It is. It is. It is. But it is so time-consuming to kind of balance everything. And even when you do balance everything, your city is consistently growing or dying. So you're always fighting a losing battle. I don't think public transport should be something that you focus on to kind of make money. It's just there to aid the growth of your city. It's pretty much all it's meant to do. And I think that's all we should really take from this. Yeah, it's possible. But at what lengths will you go to make a profit? At what lengths would you go to make a profit on public transport? It's easy to make a profit on the subway and metro lines. Buses, not so much. And on that note, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good. Bye-bye.